How's everybody? Hang on a second.
When he returned to the NFL in 1997 as head coach of the Rams. We'll have more on that a bit later. Dick is a great friend of the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, and we appreciate him spending time with us today. Dick Vermeil. Our guest of honor, of course, is Kurt Warner. Kurt is truly, as I'm sure everyone in this room knows, a rags to riches story. He's a great example for the young people in our audience of never giving up. He played college football in Northern Iowa, was not drafted, was invited to the Green Bay Packers training camp, but they cut him before the season began. So he turned to the Arena Football League, where he turned in record backup quarterback in training camp, and that's why we are here today. Please welcome Kurt Warner. All right, before we start.
The secret that he could play. Remember this. He threw 11 balls in the NFL the year before, so he had a lot of experience.
I'll say too that not a lot of people know this, but Coach talking about him being able to see and understand before. I don't know the full story. I've heard some different renditions of it, but the year before, when I actually made the team for the first time, it came down to the last cut. And from what I understand, Coach basically had all his coaches in a room, and he went around the room and he goes, okay, Wilford or Kurt Warner, who should we keep? And he went around to all the different guys, and obviously made the decision to keep me. But I found out the next day, and we were walking down the hallway at Rams Park, and I ran into Coach, and he said, congratulations, and he just looked at me and he said, there's something special about you. And I mean, I remember that, because that was my one chance. And, but that's all he said. He said, there's something special about you, and I can't wait to see. And so it was something that he saw the year before in making this decision that nobody else saw.
When you took the vote in the room, did he actually win it, or did you overrule it?
Will Fuhrer, our quarterback coach at that time, and coached Will Fuhrer the best. And Will was not bad. He had played pretty well, and he was sort of, hedging back and forth. But I had 51% vote, but I never had. And that was an unbelievable advantage, because our board of directors to run the St. Louis Rams football team was our coaches. Every decision was made based on how do we win a world championship. And that's it. There was no BS or this and this. And I'll tell you, there are very few NFL teams run like that anymore. But it did speed up the process. Okay, and Hannafin was involved, and all the coaches were involved in every decision that I made. And I like you said, I said to him, I said, there's something about you that I like, and I can't wait to find out what it is. Remember language history.
Coach, did not all the team going into 1999, wasn't there a moment when every team had an opportunity to pick
yes, most people don't know this. We had to declare so many players on our roster up for its expansion team. We put Kurt on it. Now before I did it, I called him and let him know that I'm going to do this. And I said, I can't guarantee no one's going to pull you off, but nobody knows about you what we know about you, and I don't think anybody will take you. If they do, you have to go. 31 other geniuses in the league passed him up, okay?
That's a great story. That's a great story.
By the way, Kurt, one of the greatest collectibles now, if you still have it, is that Amsterdam jersey. You still have that one?
I do. I still got it. Yeah.
How about that?
Seen it. Me saying that to him.
I've seen it.
This
Exactly
guy
right.
can play.
Jim said, yeah, you're right. Kind of casually.
The other thing over there where you see him catch that third pass, third TD, that's over here to his left. But when Kurt got back and read his progression over here to the right, now it wasn't there. The deep thing was not there. The middle thing wasn't there. The short thing. Now he turns back and he hits after about 35 yards on the left sideline. I can take one move, leaves the safety inside. And Dick says, did you see that? I can't quite tell you exactly what he said. Yes, a lot of throwing it at. And I don't need to tell you that it was beautiful. You know, and you're like, God.
Let me help you there. I know we're running out of time, but I learned a long time ago, football is not a contact sport, it's a combat sport, okay? Not like military war, but it's a combat sport. Just ask an offensive and defensive lineman. Ask these guys. And you never know how a guy is going to respond in combat until he's in combat. This guy, unbelievable in combat. Unbelievable in combat.
Move to the playoff.
Is simply when a defense brings too many guys for us to block. And so our receiver has to change his route. He has to adjust his route so we can get the ball off before I get hit. So all week long we talked about Tampa was really good, and they would read things. They knew when they would force you to have to throw quick. So we were coming up to that play, and they were showing us 4 guys coming weak, which would have forced a side adjustment. And we ended up calling a timeout on that play. And so we had seen it coming, and I grabbed Ricky because we had talked all week about, hey, we're going to run, just a go route when this happens. And I sat down with Ricky and I'm like, okay, they looked like they were going to show this. Do we want to do a 9 route or should we just do a hit so we can complete it? And we said, what the heck? We haven't done anything offensively. Let's do it. If they come back with that same blitz, which we were like, there's no way. We just saw it. There's no way they're going to. We'll just run a 9 and we'll try to get that one big shot, maybe get in the end zone. And sure enough, they came back after the timeout, brought the exact same blitz. We adjusted to the 9. Ricky went up and made the catch. And as they say, the rest is history.
So that's
And when you get exhausted, drink yourself out of the ball game. Well, Kevin Carter had been playing his butt off and chasing the big quarterback all over and couldn't get him down the ground. So he comes off, got 35 seconds left in the game, and he comes jogging off right in front of me with 35 seconds. And I was shocked, and I didn't think about why we had that rule in, but I didn't like it, I know that. And what I didn't know, honest to God, I didn't find this out until this last year. DeMarco Farr was right behind him. He never told me that. But he went right back in the game and helped us win the football game on the next snap. But when your best, most dominant defensive lineman comes out of the game with 35 seconds to go, it's starving shit.
Yeah, DeMarco said, if the coach said anything to me, I was going to throw up. I was that exhausted, I was that gassed. But that was remarkable. Kurt, what do you feel when you see that?
Oh, man, it's just, just like Coach said. I mean, just so much about that season was just, it seemed magical. I mean, it almost seemed easy at times. You get there, dreamed of playing in the NFL, and then to do what we did and accomplish what we had accomplished. And I think, the best offense to ever play in the National Football, I still believe that to this day, with what we accomplished at that time. To have things play out, and we talked about Tampa Bay, and have a crazy scenario like that. I mean, things that happen, in that Super Bowl. You dream of, I don't know, for how many years and how many times I, threw the touchdown pass with 2 minutes to go in the Super Bowl to win it. I mean, and then it plays out like that. Coach, right before I went out on the field, he said, this is how you dreamed it a million times. Now go win it. And, it's just, and then, Mike Jones to make that tackle. You're watching the whole thing, 1 yard away. I mean, everything about it was just so magical. And I think it just brings back memories when we're hanging out with the guys last night, or you're seeing the highlights up there of how truly special that group was and that season was, because I don't know if it could have played out any better than it did.
Was Isaac the primary receiver?
In the NFC Championship was the touchdown pass to win it. The last pass he threw in the Super Bowl was the touchdown pass to win it. The last pass he threw in the Arizona game, touchdown pass to win it. The defense came back and gave it up. I told him that the first time he hadn't even thought about it. I said, Kurt, the last 3 passes you threw for us, for me, as one football game, he hadn't even put them together. That's how humble he is. But I don't think, that's why I'll be in the Hall of Fame in the first vote, right?
Yes.
And that's why Kurt is here today. We thank you for coming. Jim, thank you. Dick, thank you so much. And Greg is going to do the official duties here. Kurt, it's just been a delight to have you relive all that. Thank you so much. And remember, folks, if you want a parking ticket in the back.
Well, let's do it officially. Kurt Warner, quarterback, St. Louis Rams, 1998-2003. One of the greatest success stories in NFL history. Best undrafted player in NFL history. Leader of the Rams' greatest show on turf. Won 2000 Super Bowl with Rams and was game MVP. Played in 2002 and 2008 Super Bowls. Owns 3 highest Super Bowl passing yardage in Super Bowl history. Holds top 3 passing record for Super Bowl games. 2-time NFL Most Valuable Player, 1999-2001. 4-time Pro Bowl team, 1999, 2000, 2001, and 2008. Fastest player in NFL history to pass for 30,000 yards. Greatest created First Things First Foundation 2001 to help all those in need. With faith and family, his motto. Enshrined this day, October 13th, 2014, welcome Kurt Warner to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.